Hi, this is Sandy Garossino commenting on public affairs for the Vancouver Observer. We had quite the campaign last week, quite the election, and the results shocked the entire province and probably the country. First of all, congratulations to Premier Christy Clark. She owns this victory. She ran a gutsy, fearless campaign from beginning to end. There wasn't a crack in her armor, not a shadow of doubt. So what happened in this campaign? Despite the huge run-up in BC's public debt, despite the HST fiasco, despite wobbly leadership at times from this premier, and despite a raft of scandals, British Columbians could not bring themselves to send the Liberals to the penalty box. And the responsibility has to lie at the feet of the NDP. I have three observations. Number one, if you cannot hold your opponents responsible for their record, their leadership, and their policies, then please find another line of work. The positive campaign was very poorly conceived, badly executed. Number two, small business. Even amongst progressives, and there are a number in the small business community, this sector was terrified of the NDP. It's not enough to say that you care about small business and that you understand what they're going through. They have to believe that you know what keeps them up at night and that you're going to be in their corner fighting for them. A party that cannot deliver this to the small business community is probably not electable and probably doesn't deserve to be. Number three, the Achilles heel of the NDP is the widespread public perception that under pressure they will revert to ideology over sober, measured, evidence-based due process. Kinder Morgan was a gift from the gods for the Liberal Party because it underscored exactly that weakness by the NDP. So what are some of the key trends emerging from this election? By the next election, the Liberals will have been in power for some 16 years, and I think this raises a very important question for British Columbians. Have the Liberals become the de facto ruling party of the province and the NDP the permanent opposition? The official opposition should be a government in waiting. They should be a truly electable alternative for the people, a check on the power of the ruling party. I think we're missing that now. It's fairly clear that the NDP have probably structural and possibly insuperable barriers to electability. And if that's the case, they have some very serious soul searching to do. Other key trend areas are with the youth vote and impact on the environmental movement. It's pretty obvious that our kids are not hauling their butts over the polling station. We can complain all we want, but the truth is that we raise these paragons of virtue. But I think the problem goes deeper than that. This political campaign was aimed squarely at the 40-plus crowd, both by the politicians and by the media. And you only had to look at the leadership debate to see that. The reality is that we've got to crack the code on this thing or we're going to be paying the price down the road. We've got to inspire, engage, excite, and involve our young people. They've got to see that the polling station is where they have a voice, and they're not feeling that right now, and we have got to solve this problem. There can be no doubt about it. This campaign was an epic fail for the environmental movement, and I say that despite Andrew Weaver's win for the Green Party in Victoria's Oak Bay riding. If there was ever a time and a place for the environmental movement to demonstrate that it could exact a political price for unbridled resource development, this was it. And they failed. When push came to shove, the environmental movement turned out to be a 90-pound weakling. Why should Christy Clark or Stephen Harper fear it now? Don't think for a minute that the federal parties are not taking this electoral result into account as they make their plans for the 2015 federal election. For the Vancouver Observer, this is Sandy Garossino.